Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the throttle body on a Chevy Trailblazer. Now this is the 5.3 liter V8, but any vehicles that utilize the 5.3 liter V8 by Chevy, this should be the same process. Let's go ahead and get started. To complete this, these are the items that you'll need. Obviously, you'll need your replacement throttle body. You can get these at automotive stores, dealerships, online, anywhere. There's different price ranges depending on where you're getting it from and obviously the quality. So depending on your budget, you're going to want to kind of see what's out there. I would recommend not messing with anything cheap because this is something that needs to be specific for the vehicle, so you get what you pay for. But you'll need the throttle body. You are going to need the throttle body gasket. That's what we're also going to be changing in this video. I'd recommend doing that when you do the throttle body as well. You will need a T30 Torx bit with the screwdriver handle, or you can use it in a ratchet. You'll need a flat head screwdriver. You will need a ratchet with a 10mm socket. These are the items that you'll need in order to complete this. Now, some of the indications that your throttle body might be going bad is if you have rough idling. Sometimes if you're sitting in traffic or if you have it in park and you're not moving, you might see your RPMs bouncing around a little bit and the car will be kind of jolting a little bit, very rough. That can be an indication. Now that can also pertain to other things as well, like O2 sensors and other things as well can cause that. So it's important if you're getting a check engine light, before you just assume it's the throttle body, that you go ahead and check it, see what the codes are. If you want to see some videos I've done on how to diagnose and replace O2 sensors, mass airflow sensors, another one that can cause problems like that, you can check out the links I'll have across the top. I'll also have them down in the description for you to see if you want to dive into that a little bit deeper. But basically what happens is it throws off your fuel and air ratio, and the car kind of gets confused with that and causes that rough idle. Another thing with the throttle body, as it starts to go, it may affect also your acceleration. I've had it in some cases where the throttle bodies are completely bad or even dirty, where the car will just stall out. The RPMs will just drop to a low level and the car will just stall out. So before you actually replace it, you can also do a physical inspection on it, look at it, and see if it needs to be cleaned. Sometimes you get carbon buildup. You can get throttle body cleaner as shown here. And you can use that to clean it out. And sometimes that will solve your problem. But if you've done all that and the throttle body is definitely gone, then that's when it's time to replace it, because you don't want your vehicle idling poorly, running poorly, or leaving you stranded, because all those things can be causing issues. You want to get it corrected. Looking in, we have our alternator, we have our air filter canister here. This is our duct right here for our air intake. You have your mass airflow sensor here on one side, and you have your throttle body right back here. This is your air cleaner canister. So we're going to have to take off this whole assembly so we can get to the throttle body, and then that's an easy piece to get to and to remove and swap out. So let's go ahead and start taking this off so we can get to that. Pull this out, and then now we have access to everything right here. With the intake off, now we can get a better look here. You have 3 10mm nuts holding it on, one up top, one down here, and then one right back there. You have 2 lines, one on this side and one on this side that connect in on the bottom. Here's a better shot underneath where you can see the nut on the left. You can see the 2 lines connecting in that we need to remove. And then you have your harness plug here that has to be taken off. So those are the only things holding this on. So let's go ahead and start removing that so we can take this off and swap it out. We're going to start by removing the harness. If you have the little safety locking clip, you want to go ahead and pull that out. This one here, it's been broken off, but normally you'd slide that out so that way you can get to this little tab that you can push down. So we'll push that down gently and just slowly work this off. There we are, slide that off to the side. And then the next thing I'm going to do is come underneath and remove those 2 lines while this is still secure, and then we'll come in and do the 3 nuts and slide that off. I just use some adjustable pliers that I can just get on that clamp right there, and then you can just squeeze it and just slide that hose off. If these lines are hard to get off, I'd recommend going ahead and removing the throttle body, because then you can pull it out a little bit and get a better access. So that's what we're going to do. This one's been on here a while, so those lines aren't budging too easy. Make sure you put these guys in a safe spot. You don't want to lose them. Come underneath, do that one. It's the last one. Now if we look here, the throttle body is resting now on these studs right here. So we can then pull it out, gently work that out. And you can see already in here the old gasket that we're going to be replacing. But let's pull this and then we can get to those lines underneath and get them pulled off. All right, this one is actually starting to come off. So we can just work this off. Let's see if we can get loosening the throttle body helped. Here it comes. There we go. Slide that off to the side. And you can see the other one is still on. That one's a little seized, but we'll work that one off as well. All right, and we're getting it here. Just a little bit. Let's see if I can get a grip on it here. Just pull it, and there we go. Got it off. Now with everything off of this thing, with everything disconnected, we have the 3 nuts taken off, the 2 lines taken off the harness. We can now just slide that forward, and it comes right off like that. And that's it. Here's our gasket right here. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Just take some needle nose pliers or something that can just grab onto it and just pull that out. Get that out of there. You can see the comparison here. Here's the one that came off, the old gasket. Here's the new throttle body, the new gasket. This gasket here is very flimsy already. This one's nice and a little more like thicker, a little more rigid. You look in here, the plate, this one's pretty dirty, even though I had cleaned it a couple years back, but still kind of dirty. This one here, everything is nice and clean and new. So let's go ahead, we'll get this one put on and get everything reconnected. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in the new gasket, and this pretty much slides right into place. There's grooves right here. You want to just push it in as I'm showing here. Get a better shot here from the top. But you can just push it right into place, get it all lined up, and it clips in. Go ahead, we'll get this all in, and then we're ready to put the new throttle body in. I have the new throttle body. We're going to set that in position. First thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to slide it on the studs now that we have the gasket in place, and then we can tighten everything up and connect the lines and harness. We'll get these nuts and just hand tighten them on, and we'll come back with the ratchet. Do the ones underneath. Next, I'm going to connect the lines underneath. Slide that on all the way. There we go. Then then we'll go ahead and slide the clamps on once we do the other one. Get this one. Okay. Get that. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put the clamps on. Everything has been reconnected as far as the lines go. We'll go ahead now, reconnect the harness till it clicks. There we go. Nice and tight. Everything has been put back. So let's go ahead and reconnect the air intake duct, and we'll go ahead and tighten the hose clamps on that, and then reconnect the T30 up here on top. So I'm going to go ahead and put all this on, and then we'll be back to fire up the vehicle. Everything's connected here at the mass airflow sensor. Throttle body, just tighten that up. Let's go ahead and start it. It's looking good. Now sometimes you may have to what's known as resetting or calibrating the throttle body when you first put it in. So we're going to see if this thing drops to its normal idling. So as it warms up, it should come down. If not, we're going to have to reset it. But it looks like it's coming down. It's looking good. We're down right around 800 coming in. So that's looking good. We're going to take it for a drive, see how everything works. It's driving nice and smooth. Opening it up here. The response also seems better too when you push the accelerator down. And we really weren't having too much problem with the acceleration. It was more the rough idling, and occasionally we would get a misfire, which is also indicative of the throttle body as well. When those go bad, they can cause that because of the air and fuel ratio being out of whack. But it's riding really good. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to come to a stop soon. We'll look at it idling and see how that looks. We have the engine running now at its full temperature. We've been driving, came to a stop, and you can see the RPM needle is 100% stable. Car is idling nice and smooth and quiet. And earlier with the bad throttle body, it would be hit or miss. Sometimes it would be okay, other times it would be very bumpy with the needle moving around. And we're right where we need to be there for the RPMs on this thing. So looking very good. Also, as I'm driving here slow, sometimes it would be a little sputtering when you would do that. And here we're going to go ahead and I want to open it up from a kind of a, not a stopped position, but from a low position here so we can see. Oh, look at that response. Very, very quick. The response is excellent. Well, this wraps up this video on how to replace the throttle body on a Chevy Trailblazer or any of the vehicles utilizing the GM 5.3 liter V8. I hope that this video was informative for you, helps you out with any projects you might be working on. Please like the video, subscribe to this channel as I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you next time.